Recording. There we go. All right. Could you please share your first name?
Okay. Beth.
Thank you. And how has your health, your family, or community been impacted by heat pollution or mold?
Well, most of the impact that I have noticed is in relationship to my son who is homeless. Of course, I don't like my utility bills going up, but um, that's for me manageable. But some of the things that he has experienced are just really major impacts on his life. Um, Health wise, being out in the cold and the heat every day if you're living in a tent, um, it's really hard on the body. Apathy as a result of this, which means he can't feel cold and heat in his legs and arms and feet. Um, Even when we're riding in a car together, he is like having to adjust the temperature because what is typical normal for me, he just has to really regulate that, so he's not in so much pain because neuropathy is very painful. Um, the other thing about living outside is you don't usually have being prone to infections has landed him in the hospital. I countless times. I can't remember how many times, and even in a nursing home at one time. Um, and of course, that impacts everybody in the family too, in terms of going to the hospital, supporting him, etc. So it seems like we go not very long without another crisis, another health crisis with him. And living outside, you're exposed to pollution, and that has impacted his ability to exist because now he has allergies that he didn't have before, and I'm pretty sure that's related to pollution here. Um, and you asked how it has affected relationships. Um, I don't know where to begin on that, really. I'm retired now, but I almost consider this son like a job because I'm constantly having to take him to doctor appointments, specialist appointments, um, trying to get him on a stable plane. Um, and he has burned a lot of bridges. Um, so he doesn't have a lot of folks that will help him. In fact, that might be a good segue. I actually saved a text that he wrote me because I asked him if I could talk about him before I did this interview, and he said yes. But if you don't mind, I can just kind of read this series of texts. On my allergies, very allergic to mushrooms and just fungi in general. Heat is too critical for me to be able to handle. Cold has permanently damaged my nerve endings in my hands, arms, legs, and feet. I have poor circulation in my hands. So he has Ray's disease. I think I'm saying that correctly. So they change color quite rapidly and without warning. They go from red to purple in a matter of minutes, with or without gloves on. And this is the one that breaks my heart. He says neuropathy is extremely painful. I am way too young to have the health concerns that I have, and that's so true. My homelessness has caused me strain on relationships to the point of breaking. I don't know what to do with the little resources I have. Yet, if I make too much money, they take away the resources, so I desperately need to be able to keep. I'm not ever going to be able to be independent without someone else living with me, and that kind of goes to the horribly high rents in the Columbus area. I mean, he's not going to have $1,000 a month to, to spend on rent. I mean, what about medicine and food? He just he's got a job now as a dishwasher, but he really doesn't make all that much money. So finding affordable housing is just, impossible. He says, I'm genuinely scared what the future holds for me. Uh, Without anyone's help, I fail every single time. So, I worry about depression because he he has so he's not mentally stable at this point too because of all the depression and anxiety he goes through each day, just trying to survive. Um, so I feel like I'm starting to ramble now, but it's been a strain on my relationship, and I think probably everybody in our family could say something along those lines to you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. One more question. Why is it important to you that Bread pushes for environmental justice?
It's This is something that can potentially affect everybody, um, but people like my son, it's almost like a life and death thing. So I think it's important for Bread to push forward on these issues. Um, First, because it is kind of a universal issue that can impact every single person. But secondly, because we have people like my son who are simply trying to survive. And if we can make a difference for them to make their life just a little bit easier, um, I just see so much value. Why would we not want to help somebody survive?
Thank you so much. And with
Thank you. And yeah, I really love that Bread exists because there's power in numbers.
that,
We have to get this message across to our mayor, to our city council, to the people that really can make the policy changes that would make a difference. So thanks, Michelle.
yeah, thank you.